Everyone told me I would fail. They said there's no way you're gonna get into the business school and that 99% of kids who try this fail miserably. But I knew something they didn't. I wasn't chasing a predictable path. I was chasing my potential. And I knew deep inside that I could do it. When I transferred schools, it was such a blow to the ego. It really was. Like, I was at the Harvard of Canada at McGill University, studying, doing well, just not really obsessed with my experience, and I wanted something more. And I asked myself, well, if I'm like the building blocks of a person, like A, B, C, what building block am I missing that I could develop in these next 4 years? That was the question I asked myself, which changed the entire trajectory of my life and is pretty much the reason why I ended up at Goldman. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Marielle. At 22, I got everything I thought I wanted. I was working for Goldman Sachs in New York City. I had a 6-figure salary, and I was living in my dream apartment in New York. But inside, I felt pretty empty. And now I've gone on the journey of understanding that. But today I want to share a story which is pivotal in this entire experience, and just a reminder for all of you out there that if someone else is doubting you, that's their own problem. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe that the things you're after are possible for you. And hence the reason why I ended up at Goldman in the first place. So fun story time, I transferred schools when in college. Because I was like a top student in school, in high school, I felt the pressure of going to a university that like basically measured up to that standard. And so I went to McGill University in Montreal, Canada, which is also known as the Harvard of Canada. And it certainly was hard. It was a lot of academics, but I knew that for me, I just spent all of my high school doing school all the time. And all I wanted to do was have fun and like enjoy my life and enjoy school. And I just was working so much. And at the time I was also studying chemistry, and I wanted to save the penguins. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to live in Antarctica and like do research on the penguins. I did. That's what I thought I was gonna do. And then I quickly realized that I really want to be out there in the world. Like, I have so much to give, and I thought if I'm just in a lab all day, I'm really not going to enjoy myself. So I decided I was going to transfer schools because the business school at McGill just wasn't the right fit for me. So I decided to go to a community college for a semester, which was such a blow to the ego in my hometown, especially when I was like top of my class. And I'm just like, how did we get here? Like, how am I here right now? But I knew inside that I was going after something that mattered to me, and I had to just keep going. And I definitely think that's a theme of my life, is like doing things differently and choosing different decisions to make. So basically, I ended up applying to 11 more schools, and I ended up deciding between Cornell, Boston College, and Indiana University. These are very different options. And obviously, if I was an academic, the answer would be, well, go to Cornell because it's an Ivy League and this is like the best thing you can do. But I just knew that it was going to be the same experience as McGill. And I'm like, I'm not really going to enjoy myself there. Like, the whole point of this move was to stay strong in the fact that I want to enjoy my experience of life and also do school, because I love school and I loved academics and I love learning. And I was in pursuit of something bigger and greater for myself and for how I felt inside in my heart. Then I toured that school, really thought I was going to go there. Like, that was like it. I was like about to sign on the dotted line, like thought that was it. Then we went to Indiana, and I was like, this is literally the best school I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, to me, this is so funny because literally the other day when I was organizing my files on Google Drive, I came across my essay for Indiana, and I wrote in there that Indiana represents opportunity to me, and it genuinely is. This is not an ad for Indiana University, but like it should be, because I freaking love that place. It was the best experience of my life. And when going back to those building blocks, I basically was like, all right, if the experience of life is accumulating more experience and skills and talents and traits, then I've got to figure out what I don't have. And so I thought at first that going to Boston College would really just develop my faith and develop just an interest in like being just an interest in religion in general. I mean, I love history, so I just thought that would be a really good fit. And then when I went to Indiana, though, I was like, this place is different. This place, you can be anyone you want to be. You can do anything you want to do, and you can study anything. Like, it's so big. Like, there's so many opportunities and options here. So then I realized, okay, Ex-nay the BC, loved BC, great school, stunning campus. But Indiana was like this amazing opportunity to me. And when I got there, I thought I was in the business school. So I was transferring, but I was applying for a business major, and I assumed that I would be in the business school when I got there. And I was not. On the first meeting, I was like, oh yeah, I got into the Kelly School. And they were like, no, sorry, you have to take a certain number of courses and get a certain number of grades in those courses in order to be in the business school. And I was like, darn it. Well, I've already fallen in love with this school and this idea that I could build my social life. They basically told me that in order to get into the business school, I had to take this certain set of courses that would take a year, and that I would have to get certain GPA, like pretty much all A's and maybe some B's, to get into the school. Well, everyone was stressing how hard these courses were, but I knew in my heart that like this would be easy for me. And I didn't think it was actually gonna be easy. I just knew that I would be able to do it. I knew that I wanted to develop this building block of being social while enjoying life. And I knew that I had already developed my skill of being really good at academia and studying well and performing well. And I guess on top of that, I knew that I was a very grounded person. I was very centered in like what mattered to me. And I knew my values to a certain extent of like, well, I say yes to this and no to that, and I'm not gonna go crazy here, but I wanna be social. So anyway, fast forward, it was a hard semester, but it was so rewarding. I ended up getting A's and A pluses in every class. I had like 6 classes, but 18 credits. And the message here really, the message is just internal conviction. And like they doubted me. They full on doubted me. They're like, honey, there's no way you can do this. And I'm like, but you don't know me. Like, I know me. I know I can do this right now. Like, I was so academic and such a nerd that I'm like, I know I can study this. So that's a little story time, but I want to leave you with one thing. So when I was making these decisions and creating this internal conviction of 1, am I even picking the right university? 2, should I even try to get into this business school? And then 3, which ultimately led to working at Goldman, there's always been something that has carried me through. And it's these 2 questions that I ask myself. So when you are assessing something, ask yourself these 2 questions. Let's say you have option A and option B. Ask yourself, if I go with option A, will I always wonder what my life would have looked like if I went with option B? In my case, the answer was yes. So for example, if I go to Cornell, would I always wonder what my life would have looked like if I went to Indiana? And I was like, yeah, I would, because it's so different and I've never experienced anything like that before. Okay, that's question number 1. Question number 2 is, if I go to Indiana, would I always wonder what my life would look like if I went to Cornell? And the answer was no, because I knew that it was going to be academic. And I knew it'd be so similar to McGill that I wouldn't have that much of a different experience. Would I always regret this if I didn't do this thing? Or would I always regret this if I did this other choice? And using these 2 questions is such a good guide. This is a very small little tidbit thing, but I hope it helps you in some small way. And if you want to know the next step of the story, you can watch my video on why I quit Goldman Sachs and what that all led to. And I am so excited to see you in the next video. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.